Hey, what's happening, guys? First looks for the progressive tournaments up. With only one sport rocking and rolling in right now, we can do a couple different looks of this one because, hey, we got the free time. Speaking of free time, take your free time right now. Slide that finger down to the thumbs up button. Click it. It is always appreciated. And let's go after winning that jackpot this week. I've discussed it already a couple times. For about 5 minutes last Sunday, I felt like I had a chance to go 12-0. And man, is it crazy how all those thoughts of how you're going to spend your $13,000 comes to your mind right before James Robinson quickly scared the nuts and says, dude, this ain't happening.
Yeah, right when you start thinking it, you find out quickly that it's not happening.
Right, and it's fun to get those illusions of grandeur, or delusions is probably a better word this time, for a few minutes and what you can do with this. But that's kind of the fun that they're going for, right? It's like you're supposed to, like, if you can get that sweat. And I just happened to check, coincidentally, pretty much the only time all day where I would have had the sweat for real.
Right.
It's fun to have that.
For sure.
All right, so I haven't gotten into it 100% yet, but with the news of the bad weather, I would encourage everybody to get into the matchup shop right now and start looking at a few of these things before the lines change.
Yeah, agreed.
All right. So first things first, Russ the Muss Wilson versus Patrick Mahomes. I don't ever like pitching against Mahomes, but at this point, like, it's hard to pick against Wilson, period. So I would probably just go with Russell Wilson, and what to me is going to be a more competitive game.
I'll go Wilson also, but agreed. I don't really like picking against Mahomes.
How can anybody ever really want to pick against Mahomes?
Exactly.
All right. Next up, Josh Allen versus Aaron Rodgers. This is another one. I would double check it. I'm thinking about laying some money. You get Allen plus a point against Rodgers and what looks to be, like, Roth is breaking this one down, is 25 miles plus sustained winds, gust of around 40 miles an hour. It is not going to be a pretty day for offense. So I'm going to go Josh Allen right now, even though he has not looked great lately.
Agreed. I think Josh Allen's the clear pick here.
All right, Lamar Jackson against Pittsburgh, Tannehill against Cincinnati. I didn't think I would ever say this, but give me Tannehill.
I'm not as quick to pick it as you are, but I'm Tannehill.
I mean, Tannehill's been better this year, and while I would still pick Jackson over Tannehill most days, Cincy versus Pittsburgh.
That's fair.
That's the big difference right here. All right, Joe Burrow versus Justin Herbert, a couple of sensational young men right here. That's a tough one. What do you got?
I like Burrow slightly more, personally.
Herbert's slightly better at DFS at this point by a smidge, but I'm going to side with you because I like Burrow against Tennessee more than I do Herbert against Denver. Yeah, I'm with you. I agree.
Yes.
All right, Derek Carr versus Baker Mayfield. Derek Carr.
Same. I don't love either of them, but I'm with it. Derek Carr.
Yeah, I like the part where you said you don't love either of them because I definitely agree with that. All right, Matt Stafford versus Jared Goff. You know, Matt Stafford just is not doing it for me from a fantasy perspective. Give me Jared Goff.
I'll switch it up. I'll go Stafford.
Okay. Jimmy G versus Phillip Rivers. Give me Jimmy G. I don't trust him, but I don't trust Phillip Rivers either. And I know that I trust Seattle to give it up to most people.
I'm with it. Give me Jimmy G.
Cousins versus Roethlisberger. I go Big Ben. He's still making some dumb decisions here and there, but Cousins has to deal with these rough wins at this point.
Yeah, for sure. I don't really like either of them, but give me Big Ben just because of the weather.
So you watched a lot more Tua in your life than I have. What's he going to be like as far as a running quarterback goes?
He's very fast, very agile. Definitely give me Tua over Breeze here.
Yeah, Breeze in Chicago, horrible weather. I'll take Tua on just rushing yards alone.
Yep.
All right, Nick Foles versus Drew Lock. Give me Drew Lock. This is another one. I don't like Foles in this situation in bad weather. I don't like him, period, much less in bad weather.
Same.
All right. T.Y. Hilton versus Zach Pascal.
Ugh. Man. I'm going to go T.Y., but not with much confidence.
I'll go Pascal just to be different. This is not one I'm going to be lining up to pick.
Yep.
All right, Marvin Jones Jr. or T.J. Hawkinson. The question here, does Hawkinson score or not? That's where a lot of his points seems to come from, and that's a question that I cannot answer for you, so it's a tough one. Hawkinson, I guess, but with very little conviction.
Give me Hawkinson as well.
Macaulay Harbin versus Demarcus Robinson. Watkins is still questionable. Oh, Christ. Harbin, I don't know. This is a tough one. I don't have a good answer for you.
Same. They definitely made more of an effort to get him involved last week, so I'll go off that.
Yeah, I think what happened to maybe Macaulay Harbin in that game against Buffalo where he was chalk on that slate and did nothing, in bad weather like that, they don't need a deep threat.
True.
So maybe they looked at Robinson as more of a possession wide receiver. So, and that could not even be right. That's not just a theory. There's no actual for sure truth behind that.
Makes some sense.
All right, Tyreek Hill versus Travis Kelce. Give me Kelce. For very little rhyme or reason. I think they get him in the end zone this week.
Same.
All right, Robert Woods versus Cooper Kupp.
Give me Cooper Kupp personally.
God, these guys are so every other week. I liked Kupp last week over Woods because of the Bears' pass rush. I like the idea of shorter passes, but it won barely. Oh, boy. This is always a really hard one that overly really makes you think with the Kupp versus Woods thing.
I think Kupp gets in the end zone this week. That's all it is for me.
All right. I'll be contrarian then and go with Robert Woods, but this is always a tough one.
For sure.
All right. Next up, Jerry Judy versus Tim Patrick.
Man. I guess give me Tim Patrick.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right. Tyler Lockett versus DK Metcalf. Last week was the first time that I liked Lockett over Metcalf all year. That one, was nice enough for it to work out for me. But I'm going to go right back to the hand that feeds me most weeks, and that's DK Metcalf.
With you 100%. Give me Metcalf.
I am not only did I thoroughly enjoy the rundown of Budda Baker, the memes that have come with it have been perfect. There's been so many good ones.
Yes.
All right. Kareem Hunt versus Alvin Kamara. Two guys in bad weather. Give me Kareem Hunt.
Definitely give me Hunt.
I don't like this spot for Kamara a ton. Chicago's very good defensively. I think this is going to be a very low-scoring game. Not saying that Cleveland and Vegas are going to light it up, but the defenses in New Orleans, Chicago are significantly better than they are in Las Vegas.
Sure.
So that's it, guys. We'll do a final thoughts video on this one. The thing is, we've mentioned throughout this one, just kind of keep your eyes peeled on how the weather is going to break down for a couple of these games. I would encourage some of you guys, hop into this matchup shop. I mentioned Josh Allen versus Aaron Rodgers. You can get Josh Allen right now with an extra point on Aaron Rodgers. Now, you do take the risk that on Saturday comes around, they go, the weather's not that bad, never mind. In which case, we'd probably both like Aaron Rodgers better, but, take the pluses and the minuses of that.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to keep your eyes on the weather and see how it changes throughout the next couple of days.
Here's an interesting one for you. I know, you like Burrow better than Herbert, so you probably like this one plus 1.5 right here.
I do. I was just looking at it. But I think my favorite one on here is Tua.
Tua versus Breeze plus 2. So I'm going to take a Tua, Burrow, Tannehill, Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, George Kittle.
I think I just did the same thing, but with Ryan instead of Burrow.
With Matt Ryan?
Yes.
You're not going to include Burrow in there?
I don't think I had Burrow in there, but I did have Garoppolo in there.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to include that then. We're gonna go for it right here. So this is what's fun about playing around the matchup shop like this. Like you can get 59 to 1 on your money right here. Are you gonna win? Probably not, right? You're probably not gonna win. You're almost never gonna win 7-way parlays, but they're a good time, and you don't have to risk a lot to win something back. Like if I'll throw a 5 spot on that one just to have a little fun. It's a good time. I enjoy myself, and if it happened to work, hey, I win $300.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with it.
So. All right, guys, that's overlay. Don't forget, if you make an initial deposit as a brand new player, send me a screenshot so I can get you a free membership to the 5-pack. Outside of that, best of luck this week, and we'll hit you up with our final thoughts on this video on Saturday.
Yep. Thanks, guys.